Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for December 13th, 2025. We've got what should be a full random kingdom as it is Saturday. And we got shelters. We've got mask, butcher, trashing. We've got border village as the only plus. Oh, and border village and first mate is plus actions. Okay. Draw is potentially first mate, masquerade, and potentially garrison. Gains. Border village is basically gains butcher. Hill fort. It's a little gain limited. In terms of, like, there's no plus buy, but with Butcher and Border Village, you can potentially do a lot of stuff. So I think we go Mask Overlord with the plan to play Overlord as Butcher potentially, certainly at some point. Maybe not initially. Well, there's a bunch of things we can do with it, but either way. Banquet for Butcher, I don't think is very good. I don't want coppers, and yeah, I'd just rather have the debt. That's a lot of coppers. Okay, so options are, we could play Overlord as first plate. First plate? Yes, Overlord as first plate to play Necropolis and then draw 3 cards. We could also just play Overlord as Mask. Which actually ends up drawing 3 cards anyway if we trash Overgrown Estate. So the main advantage of... Yeah, no, never mind. There's really no reason to do first mate. We could also do Butcher if we want to just butcher the Overgrown Estate into a 3 cost. I think I'd rather draw the cards. Well, that might have been a mistake. Do we want another Overlord? It is a lot of debt. But I think it's worth it. Whoa, that is quite something. Okay, they're just going hard for the battlefield points. Well, I don't actually think that's very good. We've got provinces that we can get, and they're not going to get province this way. Anyway, let's see. This is... Oh, there's so many options. I think we just start with another mask play. And it could be another mask play after this. Yeah. I think that makes sense. The alternative... Yeah, no, I think we just... Oh, I forgot that I had another mask down there. Whoops. Okay. Well, it's fine. I'm not going to buy another Overlord now. Because I want to be able to get border villages. What is going on? It is pretty unfortunate that we bottom deck both of... Wait. Oh, it wasn't both masks. It was just we'd played one. Never mind. Okay. All right. Well, we can play one of these as a mask, I guess. Or, alternatively, we could play this as a first mate to play Overlord as Butcher, and then we draw all the cards. Yeah. I don't think I actually want to trash anything. We'll trash a copper here, and then we take a border village, and we want an actual butcher, or do we want a first mate? Let's say one first mate. Okay, now I guess we first mate in the Necropolis. Would be nice to butcher like into something and then draw it with mask, but I don't know what that would be particularly. I mean, one thing we could do potentially is like play Overlord as Tent and rotate to Garrison, but we can't actually butcher into... Yeah, never mind. We could rotate all the way to Hillfort, I suppose. That's interesting. That would give us potentially a lot of fodder. Blah. Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and do this. Oh. Well, I wasn't expecting to have this option. The option to, like, butcher the estate into a garrison? We could do that. And potentially take another one. Not that we really want to play 2 garrisons next turn, but we could butcher one of them. I don't think we're going to need like 4 garrisons or anything. We could butcher one of them into a border village. Alrighty. We want to first mate in the Necropolis. We probably do. Well, we could first mate the garrisons instead of playing... Instead of butchering one of them. We don't super need to be thinning down with mask at this point. I'm wondering about butchering the mask into another garrison. And then we get border village, and now I think we do take an actual butcher. Confusing. All right, we drew our cards. Might as well hang on to the necropolis. I don't think it's like super critical that we get that last garrison, but we certainly could. Just play Butcher a couple of times, then Butcher a copper into garrison. So I guess to do that, probably do first mate to play Overlord as Butcher, not trashing. Overlord as Butcher, trashing. Hold on. Gotta play one of these first. I mean, we don't have to, but... Alright. Overlord. Butcher. Overlord as Butcher. And then... get Border Village, Hill Fort. Alright. We probably want to get started on provinces relatively soon, given how many points the bot has. Although we can also like be taking duchies. But anyway, is there anything useful we can do? You can just play the first mate on the garrisons just to get them in play. And then we're just going to gain stuff with Hill Fort and Butcher it. It's too bad there's not like an actual attack here. But I don't really see much that the first mate is doing other than just acting as a little bit of plus actions. So Butcher... I guess we're better off butchering like copper to silver and then silver to whatever than not doing it because of the garrison draw. Let's take another silver probably. And then Butcher silver to Border Village. Hill Fort or Butcher? Let's say Butcher, I think. Overlord is Hill Fort. Gaining another silver. That's annoying. Alright, do we take province now? Probably. Probably. I mean, we can't always butcher border villages in the province, so maybe not. Take Border Village Butcher. Okay, so if we get 5 provinces and 2 duchies right now, that would be the path to victory. Can we get 5 provinces? We can get a lot of plus actions, but we do have to play the border villages to do it. Like first mating the border villages, that is. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do that this turn. So I think I'm gonna just like go ahead and first mate all these border villages. Although I say that, but maybe we should keep like a couple of them unplayed for draw. We have like 5 terminal actions here potentially. Yeah. Sorry, more than that, but we have a couple more of this stuff in any case. All right, so how to set up for this? It wouldn't be bad to have at least one more butcher in the deck. So we could butcher silver to butcher. Hill Fort. Gaining, I guess, another silver. And then one more first mate, maybe. Maybe one more hill fort. We don't need the first mate like now, but we might want it for next turn, is what I'm thinking about. I'm like a little reluctant to just like empty the butchers because then I can't play my overlords as butchers, but maybe it's fine. If I leave 3 butchers, the bot cannot possibly empty them. So that might just be better for me anyway. So maybe we do butcher. We could do silver to silver just to increase that draw. I guess Sage we could take. Like, I'm just thinking, I don't know if I want another silver. If I just want to play all these as butchers, I want to draw this silver. And then... yeah, I think I'll just take that. Alright, so now we butcher silver to border village, first mate, and do probably just 2 more butcher plays. And do we buy a province? I think so. Okay, they did manage to mill a province. That's unfortunate. So now we need three provinces, gets us to 24, and then we need 4 duchies and an estate. We can have 6 butcher plays. 6 butcher plays gets us 3 provinces and 3 duchies. The hill forts can get us estates, and then we buy a duchy. So if we can do all that, we have what we need. Doing it might be a bit tricky. We could... All right, let me double check that. So 3 provinces, 18 to 24. We get 4 duchies. That gets us to 36. Estate gets us to 37. The 4 duchies, one of them we can be our buy. So we need to butcher for 3 duchies. So yeah, we have in theory enough butcher plays to do it. Just a question of whether we can actually manage it. And we can first mate butchers. Okay, we're obviously going to play the necropolis. Sorry, yeah, we can first mate butchers on border villages. Get a bunch of plays that way. And a bunch of extra coffers. That might be all that we really need. Let's see. Border village to province, border village to province, border village to province. And then... The 2 garrisons... Well, we probably won't even need money for the duchy. I'm just trying to figure out whether it makes sense to just, like, burn through all the border villages or not. And I'm struggling to figure that out, but... the other thing is we can first mate the first mates. I don't think there's any reason not to do that. So we first mate to playing first mate, playing butcher, trashing border village to province, playing butcher, trashing border village to province, playing butcher, trashing border village to province, playing butcher... Wait a minute. We played the first mate to play the first mate. Yeah, no. This doesn't make sense. Never mind. I always get confused about how this works. No, we need to... So what we should actually do is start with hill fort for estate, hard action, hill fort for estate, hard action, and then we first mate the butchers. Border village to province, border village to province, border village to province. It might as well be border village to duchy. And then we play 1 border village. And we do sage to duchy. Border village to duchy. By duchy. Yeah. I don't like the bots approach, but obviously Battlefield did a lot of work for it. I guess, I mean, it was getting close to the point where I would have been struggling to overcome the points lead, like if it could have gotten 1 more province. I think without Battlefield, like, the bots approach isn't remotely competitive. With it, It was a little slow for me to get off the ground. Like if the bot gets one more province, we're at 32 and it's at 42. We need 3 more duchies and estates or the strongholds. So yeah, it would have been pretty tough. But the bot's deck was also enormous. I think that the odds of it being able to do this were quite poor. Like it has 17 coppers in its deck. So like without that play, I would have had that extra province instead of the bot. And I mean, maybe it gets a duchy or something, but it still would have been like a more comfortable win. The garrison thing did work out pretty nicely in the sense that it just like eliminated my need to try to draw cards. So that's cool. I don't think you would necessarily like need to play with garrison on this board. I think, like you could do first mate draw stuff with Butcher. It would be a little bit more finicky, or potentially a lot more finicky, I suppose, when you can't see your entire deck in your hand all at once. But yeah. Well, in any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.